Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Jim Lemmy Shadow and Sun cooperation video. Today, we will be making some things out of these plastic skeletons.
That's right, folks. You may recall we used these plastic skeletons in our washes review video, and now we're going to return back to these plastic skeletons and do something completely different with them and turn them into a couple of different kinds of monsters. Basically, the idea is, if you're familiar with sculpting, they use things called dollies, which are basically armatures of, humanoids usually. And we're going to use these skeletons since they're so thin that we can build upon them with milliput. And I'm also going to be using...
And for the fact that 2/3 of the things, or at least possibly half of the things we're going to be making are just skeletons.
Right. We're going to be making a lich, a grim reaper, and a werewolf.
And possibly an ogre.
Right. Thank you.
But we are not sure yet.
Yes. That one's going to take a little bit more work than just the lich or the grim reaper. But we're basically going to use these skeletons as armatures for the base figures, except for the lich and the grim reaper, which we're just going to be using one of my old tricks of taking baby wipes, you dry them out, and then you cut them into strips. And I've got a mixture here of just good old-fashioned cheap school white glue and water. And if I can, here we go. You can see it's pretty much just like milk.
I believe you have
doesn't
done that before. Or
yeah.
Was it on camera or was it not?
I don't recall if I did it on camera, the actual mixture. I might have, because we've done it a couple of times with the harvester and the scarecrows.
Yeah.
The little guy's going to show you the skeletons we're working with, and he's going to do some clipping while I prepare the milliput to coat one of the skeletons as a werewolf. So take it away, little guy.
So, first, each of these will be used as a different thing. This one might be some sort of ogre. However, we might not.
We definitely won't be doing it in this video because, as you can see, I only mixed up a small amount of milliput to wrap around this guy's legs and arms and chest. We're actually going to cut his head off and replace it with a plastic dog head or wolf head that we need to pick up this weekend. We thought we had some in our collection, but it turned out to be completely different kind of dogs.
It is odd that we thought we were going to have so many ideas, and then we didn't.
Yeah.
I do still find that odd. This one, really, all we've done on it, well, it's actually one we've done the most with. We took the sword off of this one, yes, this one right here.
It used to look like that.
And you then cut that blade in...
To a scythe.
We cut it into a scythe. The angle, I don't think the angle is right, but...
It's close enough.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to make weapons out of, weapon blades. I've tried doing it out of green stuff and milliput, but gravity tends to mess that up and make one part of it really flat while it dries. You can try the water trick, but I have yet to do that.
Okay. Then we will be turning this one into said werewolf. We will just basically do the same thing. It is pretty much just the Yeti and
That's right, I forgot about that.
Weird. It is pretty much just the Yeti, more accurately the Wendigo. That one, the main difference is we aren't going to be, we even use the same
Go ahead and clip
model.
his...
Head off?
No, his... you can clip his head off if you want, but I meant clip off his axes.
I'm not going to clip his head off yet.
Yeah, let's
Just clip off the axes at the...
At the hands, right above the hands and below the hands. Save those for something later, maybe? That's
Yes,
gonna go that's going to go flying, though.
I do believe we might be able to do that.
Blink.
Know where that went?
No idea. Doesn't matter. Are you aiming for me?
Yes.
Okay, you got me right in the temple.
Oh.
Okay, you clipped everything
I
off?
still wonder where the axe went. I don't know if I did.
We'll find it when we sleep.
Maybe. And I'll just cut off the head. Should I?
No.
Okay.
Because we might want to have a better idea.
All right.
Go ahead and show him the lich and...
Oh yeah, this one will be a lich. He just used the spear, the staff thing. Another thing I didn't mention is with this one, he took the arm of this degenerate looking skeleton and placed it to make it look... like he's pointing in some way. Not sure if you can notice, I'll put it down here so you can actually see it. This arm is the same as that one. Then, obviously, these two are the same. I don't actually know where you got this arm from. Because I can tell that it's not that arm.
Oh, from this guy.
Oh, the same one?
Yeah.
Wait, no? Then where's the... Then there'd be two that are missing their arm.
Oh, no, the other one I didn't... I just cut the shield off.
Oh, that's
yeah.
that's why it looks like it. Yes, there was also a shield. I forgot about that. I forgot to mention. I forgot. So we have this one, which we are just going to do the same thing as the Wendigo, and the Yeti. It's just going to be a lot thinner, or we're going to place it around a lot more because obviously this thing is a skeleton and not a wrestler.
Yeah. Forgot about that video. And it's getting close to that time of year again for the winter craft.
Because remember, it's that time of year.
The leg's almost done. Just be,
Oh, you already put that on?
yeah, just be gentle when you're doing the scraping fur motion.
Wait a minute, why? Oh.
And
Oh, this is the guy with the sword.
yeah, and I'm gonna do like a little bit of fur hanging down, kind of like a loincloth here, but that's gonna have to be later because if you're not careful, it's just gonna shred. So far, it just looks like he's wearing a pair of baggy pants.
Okay.
Okay, now on that chest piece, you want me to try to totally cover that little medallion thing up and build up his chest like he's kind of burly.
Just maybe try to cut it off. Actually, I don't think you can.
Yeah, I could if I used the hot knife, but it's not.
But you turned the knife off.
Yeah, because I didn't think I was going to be using it. Just take small. It's better to use small pieces than too much because it tends to bunch up underneath, and then you can always just add more later. Just making little strips of milliput. Well, that's going to be a little difficult getting it in there, but I'll just go over it like this. He's going to be a little shaggy werewolf. So
Sure.
let me see one of those toothpicks.
So you just can...
We got several sets of these clay tools, and so often the perfect tool is actually just a toothpick.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times I look at the tools and go, I just need a toothpick.
Yeah, that happens quite often. Mostly because it works and it's most likely the best.
Yeah, if you guys
obviously,
if you guys are going to go out and buy yourself some clay tools, just get the smallest set that's got your basic tools.
Obviously, there are some that are necessary that you can't just use a toothpick.
Right. You don't need the dental mirror.
What do you mean? The dental mirror is...
I don't even know what happened to our dental mirror. It's been missing for 6 months.
It was part of our set that went missing.
Yeah. I know we'll find it someday, but...
I mean, that's why I haven't actually been working with clay for a long time.
Because the dental tool's missing?
Yeah, the dental mirror. The dental mirror is essential for anyone who is serious or even just starting with sculpting with clay. A dental mirror is absolutely essential.
He's not even remotely serious, folks.
Of course I am.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, we bought several different sets and, put them into this one big package. The first set we got came in because we misplaced a tool. He's had...
I think we just misplaced the entire thing.
Yeah, we misplaced the set. He's actually had these dental tools for. He
You
used to,
had it.
well, I got them for you for
Oh,
modeling clay, if you remember.
no, I don't.
Yeah, he used to. He was a big fan of modeling clay, like I was as a kid, for a long time before we ever started the channel or did any of this sort of things. He was just, you know, being a kid with modeling clay. You know, I think I told you guys the story of how modeling clay was one of my favorite toys as a kid, and he followed suit and enjoyed the heck out of his modeling clay for years and years, making his own space marines and things like that. See, not too bad, huh?
I guess.
Just gotta do the back and the other arm and let the little guy do his magic. And then I'll go on to
And hopefully I don't. Never mind.
mess it up.
No, I was going to say throw it across the room, but
Oh, well, definitely don't want you throwing it across the room.
I don't either.
And it will also add a tail, but I want to wait.
Don't.
You don't want him to have a tail? He's a werewolf.
That's true.
You
Like,
know.
I almost... Never mind.
You don't want him to have a tail?
No,
Yeah,
never mind.
I seem to think that the werewolves that I got from WizKids didn't have tails either, and I thought that was kind of strange. But at the same time, you know,
Usually
I'm pretty sure that when Abbott and Costello met the werewolf or the wolfman, he didn't have a tail either. The Universal Monsters werewolf, I don't think they had tails. I think that would just be kind of silly. And I think I actually mixed up more than I needed again. I always...
I think it should be a surprise when you don't.
Yeah. One of these days, you know, I will get to the habit of being able to eyeball the exact right amount of...
Maybe just do slightly less than you wanted.
Yeah, but I never know how much that is, really. It's
Whatever you're going to do, make that line and then just go slightly, like 2 millimeters less.
the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. A little bit more up on his forearm, and then I will go on to... I think I should do the Grim Reaper or the Lich first. I'm probably only going to have time to do one, but they'll get the idea.
Either way.
I think
Are you...
I think I'm going to go with the Grim Reaper. That sounds like a little bit more fun.
And also I think it'll be slightly easier.
Yeah, the Lich I want to do a little bit more fancy and get my chops back doing that. Just a little punch more on that section right there. You ready to craft, Mr. Rogers?
Sure.
It's a
Use
beautiful
this
day in our
trusty
neighborhood.
toothpick.
Yeah.
And this one
I
has...
think I might have
super
had
glue
just
on
a
it.
little bit too much on his elbows, but we'll just shag that down here.
I think that's one.
Look, it looks a little, his arm looks a little too big there. But
think it's
just pull it down like he's, you know, like
Alright, it's been a while since I've done this.
You may even want to let it start at the bottom, like the legs, because that way it's more attached and it's had more time to set. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this mixed up lump of clay. There's Grim Reaper.
You don't have any blue stuff molds?
No, I don't actually, and you're right, I should actually break those out and make sure that I always have something so I don't waste this. Instead of just making alien dragon eggs or snakes. I think I'm going to go with a snake this time.
What is a snake going to do for you?
Well, I usually use them as cables and stuff for sci-fi settings on little pieces of terrain or miniature bases, just to make it look like an extension cord or something. Just, gosh, that's actually a lot.
That's a pretty big snake.
No, it's a large amount of milliput is what I was concerned with. But
That is a why? How do you... I'm confused on how you manage that.
Every time I just misgauge the amount.
Maybe go 1 or maybe go 5. Maybe go a full centimeter actually.
Yeah, I really didn't cut out, but about a centimeter.
Then cut off a millimeter.
Yeah, folks, sorry to waste your time with
That.
snakes and. But I hate wasting this stuff. It's one of those pet peeves of mine. Wish I could think of a way to use it for the Grim Reaper.
Mm.
That's not gonna happen.
You know, I was about to think of one, but then I realized that no.
Yeah. Tell them what you're doing, maybe.
Alright, so it's pretty much just the exact same thing as the Yeti, only slightly less infuriating. At least what I can remember.
Yeah, because we're getting better at it, and we realized that this stuff has a curing time. If you let it sit for about 5 to 7 minutes before you actually use it. I'm just gonna make an egg.
Yeah, you used way too much. Maybe use 5 millimeters instead of a full centimeter.
One of these days, I'm just gonna make a giant dragon egg nest. Okay.
Okay, Shadow and Sun Show, episode number 326, How to Make a Dragon Nest.
Hey.
Oh god. I hope that aligns now. But I also really hope it doesn't.
Okay. So I've taken a strip of the baby wipe after it's dried, and I cut it into strips. And then I get it wet with this glue and water mixture, which will then, when it dries, make it stiff and paintable and less likely to tear even from a paintbrush. And I'm going to start by draping this over him. I think this is just a little bit too big, so I'm going to tear some of that off, hang it over there. And this is going to be the main part of the, let's call it, the robe that the Grim Reaper wears. Oh, it's still too long.
Do you know how to measure?
Yeah, I do, but I just didn't.
Maybe next time use like a paper or something and measure exactly how much you want it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to add layer upon layer of this just to really make it sort of flow. And, you know, you never see the Grim Reaper's feet except I think in that Bill and Ted's movie maybe. But see, there you go, right off the bat, the first layer. And sort of pinch it in around his waist. And then I'm going to do the exact opposite around the backside.
Alright, just save one of those strips for something I want to do with it.
Okay, I got plenty of it. I'll just use this half section here.
But I'm pretty sure it needs to be the very last one.
And I'll pinch it in there so that it doesn't get caught under the base. And if you notice this one hand that's pointed out towards you, I'm going to actually try to sculpt a little finger so that he's literally, doing like this, so that, the players or the characters that are, looking at death, the Grim Reaper here, know it's, their time is up, or at least that's what he thinks. See, it's already starting to come to life. Or
That's a funny joke.
exact opposite of that, I suppose.
That's incredibly funny.
But this technique is really, really, unless you're, a top-notch sculptor and you can do robes and cloaks and hoods and all that stuff, I have yet to master that skill. Using this stuff it just works so easy. It takes out.
But it doesn't work in every situation. If you want it to like flow or look like it's like blowing the wind or something.
Yeah,
that's not gonna work.
Yeah, no, it's definitely want something a little bit more manageable and thicker.
Like anything but that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But for the harvester, that turned out I think pretty good. That was I think the best
What
one.
was the harvester?
The Pumpkinhead guy, Sam Hain.
Why did you call it the harvester? When you said the harvester and the scarecrows.
Well, because the scarecrows were like his.
Yeah, they technically were a different thing, but I call them. I think
It was a different process of applying
they were.
the robes and stuff.
Oh,
It was
God,
actually
I'm not a really bad part of this thing.
it was actually more complicated to do the scarecrows, believe it or not, than Sam Hain. It was just a lot more complicated, wrapping this fabric around their legs to make it look like they actually had pants, things like that. By the time I was done, I was literally done. I was kind of fed up with doing it. It was very nerve-wracking because this stuff can rip and tear, and if you've wrapped it around a couple of times, you need to make that last wrap around, and then it tears and just
How many
doesn't
times did that happen?
a couple of times, enough to make me glad I was done making scarecrows. As a matter of fact, I think I was going to make one other scarecrow, and I said, no, I'm done.
You're gonna give him like a hug or something?
Yeah, but I want this other stuff I'm going to do that sort of later, after this stuff is dried, so that
well, I think, because I'm gonna do one that... it needs to be the last one.
Okay.
Because of how it's...
Are you going to put it on him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Going to put a little on his head.
Also, I think we need to do something. I think that the legs should actually be... You should put the legs should be done separately.
On him?
Well, not that you should cut them off, but that you need to do everything but the legs, because this is the easiest way to hold it.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes you'll be moving, and
There's more toothpicks. Don't worry.
yeah. Well, this one, it works. You'll push onto it and undo everything.
Okay.
You'll push onto it and flatten it again, and you won't achieve anything with that. And you'll either keep coming back to it. It's still doable, and you can just ignore it and then come back and do it at the end. But it's better to not have to do that. So next time, try to remember to do that.
Okay.
Because, I'm not going to put... What?
Nothing.
Because I will forget. And also, I don't like putting it on. Why?
I ripped it right when I didn't want to. I was trying to make him kind of like a scarf.
Well, I guess that's your example.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to move on to the Lich because he's getting a little back to work with.
Okay, I'll just do the thing I want to do.
Okay.
But, wait, I'm not sure if you can... Did I just use this one?
Yeah, if you want. I'm not sure exactly what you're...
I might need a bit longer.
Okay.
No, that's...
Just take the long one.
Dip it in?
Yeah. Are you done with the werewolf?
No.
Okay. Are you going to put that on the werewolf?
No.
Oh, okay. See, I have no idea what he's doing.
I don't know how to do...
Just be gentle and
How do you be gentle?
if you're having trouble doing that, just don't do it. It'll run off eventually.
That's true. I think I only need a piece this long
because it is mostly water. It will just evaporate away and with this gentleman, I do want the robe sort of hanging open, like he just got out of the shower and hasn't done his bathrobe properly.
That's a weird way to put it.
If I can actually get it to not stick together. I have a I believe it's a grenadier giant lich miniature that I'm trying to emulate for the most part. There we go. I'll just whip it around the back like that. Oh, Hugh Hefner style. There we go. I like that.
All right.
And then for the audience.
I don't know what this is used for.
Yeah, just it's the beginning of his hood. I just want it to dry and kind of give sort of a peak to it.
Okay, I don't want any of that glue. I mean, I don't think the glue's gonna harm the... What did you just do?
It was sticking to my fingers, and I just flipped my hand, and it went right where I kind of wanted it.
That's nice.
Yeah,
And very convenient.
yeah. It's luck. It really is all that was.
Yeah, but still convenient. One of the few things that we'll actually get. It's in... Right, did I? Yes, I did.
And if I do this right, they won't look like the same exact skeleton.
That's what I was really worried about. So it's stripping a lot, but whatever.
Yeah, it'll dry up and.
Let me see it. Yeah, that's gonna look different.
Yeah, just takes a little bit of fiddling.
Thought it was just gonna be pretty much the same thing, just one has a scythe.
No. I definitely want it to look.
I think you also should probably cut that thing off.
Yeah, I can cut
Just,
that.
it looks nice, but it...
And the cool stuff about one of the cool things about this technique is that it is very trimmable after it stiffens up. You can make adjustments
Just...
to their wardrobe.
Hmm.
But on both cases, I want them to look kind of raggedy. You know, they're not, you know. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I see liches as, you know, having, you know, newer or unraggedy looking clothing. But other times I see them as being more like they just don't care. They've been wearing the same robe for 1,000 years and they just don't care.
And why would they really care what they're wearing?
Right.
I mean, it depends on the individual.
I think it's just an artistic, aesthetic look. You know, they want them to look, you know, the newer his clothes look, I think, the more scary he actually looks. Like he has somebody shopping for him or something, you know. I've got to look my best when
the
I
most
intimidate
terrifying thing is having someone to shop for you.
Well, you know, if you're a really powerful lich, you could, you know, have a really nice wardrobe.
Yeah, but... Well, I think I'm done.
Me too. Which is actually nice because...
Let me see this. Yeah, I think that turned out how I wanted.
Okay, cool. Now let's put them all side by side and do one little...
This one.
Well, how about the werewolf?
Oh, I'm just looking at this. Yeah, okay.
They definitely look different, and if, you know...
Yeah, they definitely look different enough.
And when they're painted, they will, you know... We realize these are still kind of giant for 28 millimeter scale, but...
I mean, I guess for the werewolf it works.
Yeah, for the werewolf, and, you know, and for the lich too, you know, maybe he used a growth spell or, you know, something like that, and Grim Reaper, you know, if he was, you know, exactly 6 feet tall, I don't think he'd be as intimidating as if he was, you know, 7 feet tall.
I don't know how tall that actually translates to.
Well, you know, I'm about 6 foot. If I was 7 feet tall and dressed up like the Grim Reaper, I'd be a lot scarier, put it that way. So there you have it, some quick and easy modifications to your skeletons. You could probably also use these techniques with, you know, Green Army Men or Cowboys and Indians or whatever, you know, other plastic, you know, cheap figures you have that you've hopefully been using as test, you know, painting models, you know, so you can, you know, learn your chops and, you know, get better at painting and, you know, not, you know, mess up an expensive miniature. But this is, you know, just a fun little craft. It is October, so we're going to have a few more of these for you during the rest of the month, along with our craft challenge. But until then, hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy it. We got 3 days off.
That is true.
For school conference, and we hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by. We love you guys, and
With that said, it has been a pleasure being on the Shadow and Sun show today. I will now return, and that has been the Shadow and Sun show,
insert
the collaboration with the Jim Lemmy show, and good night.
Bye, everyone.